AllReasonNoLogic.
Battle started.
Welcome to Beyond All Reason, where today's battle promises a win for one player and my money's on blue. I'm Twig alongside Pradith and Bruticus, and we're ready to break down the chaos as it happens.
You're joining us on Ascendancy, but a slightly modified rule set for the map. So on this map, we've noticed that there's a nice large lane at the top that makes for a good 1v1 map. So we cut off everything below as a no-go zone, and we force the players to run that gauntlet. Jumping in, we're looking at taking TankTom, who has gone for a vehicle lab and has started as Cortex.
That's a bot lab.
Sorry, Bot Lab starting as Cortex, and Pigz on the other side going with a Bot Lab and starting as Armada. So a bit of a different one to last game. And isn't that we're going to have the two different types of bots going at each other. As we learned from playing on this before, high ground control for this map is very important. So we will see who manages to gain it first.
TankTom's going with a bit of a different strategy, getting two solas up instead of more wind.
And wind's good this game.
Wind is good this game.
I don't disagree with that early, but because he can eat them later. But yeah, while the wind was up, I probably would have gone more wind as well. So
yep. Sending a reclaim bot around to grab all the morsels of metal, that'll help pay for those two solas.
Pigz has got the same deal in his base. He's got two solas up as well. Difference is he's not getting that build turret up.
Yep. So he will have potentially the unit advantage for holding that high ground. 5 pawns versus TankTom's 3.
He just needs to push them
3
in.
grunts. Yep.
Pigz has got a rocket bot out as well, so that'll be a great little start with those early engagements if he can chip away at Tom's army, if Tom's not microing.
I find with those rocket bots, they're great when you've got flat land or continuous land in one slope. I played Pigz in this in a previous match. You might want to check that out. Check that out on our YouTube. It's very hard to shoot where there's any changes in pitches of elevation. So at the top of these hills and around some of the corners, it's a little bit harder to micro those rocketeers or those aggravators.
Yeah. Eco advantage seems to be going towards Pigz at the moment with those early 2 mexes. Every little bit of metal is going to count towards getting that first set of units and trying to win that first engagement. But some of that metal going into another solar collector, Pigz seems to be allergic to wind this match, and considering that it's at 17.9 at the moment, I definitely would be looking for wind.
Absolutely.
TankTom getting a wind farm up and some converters.
Pigz though has definitely got the army advantage there. If he scouts Tom, I hope that he will attack.
Yep.
Because he could just overwhelm Tom and then get a high ground position over Tom's ramp and make it much harder for Tom to push into.
Tom, having seen the army now, harassing it a little bit with a single pawn. Pigz taking the fight and taking that pawn. That has triggered Pigz to go up the hill, so I think that poking the bear might not have been the best port of call. Absolutely. Those 2 pawns... those 2 grunts just going to be losses for nothing. So TankTom with his very limited bots just lost 3 for a tiny bit of damage on a couple of those units. Top is definitely in favor of Pigz at the moment.
What Pigz needs to be doing now is just continually pushing until he meets resistance again.
Yep.
And if he can deal with that resistance, and if he can, continue to push until he gets to that ramp before TankTom's commander gets there. If he can fire those rocket bots down into that comm, it's going to be a field day for him.
Yep. Pigz making quite a big improvement this game round, building his build power in range of his wind turbines. So he should be able to get those up in good time. Building a second one that still reaches the bot lab, but also reaches a large portion of the wind. So doing well there and learning from his previous games, which is what this series is all about. Pigz making a
Sorry, I will just quick note on those turrets. I wouldn't have suggested building a second turret until you've got the eco through it. That's 300 metal. That's taking 40 something seconds to build.
Yeah,
Jumping back up to the
zeroing
top.
out on metal at the moment. Tom smartly pulling back, but the high ground army advantage is definitely going towards Pigz. But TankTom has got his comm up there, so he could use that as a way to bust this. Some good D guns could swing the army advantage into TankTom's favor very quickly.
Absolutely. Pig's commander is making its way up, but it's stuck at the first max up on the ramp. Finally moving again. He's mixed some mace into his build queue. So what's he got his queue at? He's gone a 1-1 with mace and centurion on repeat. While Tank Tom's got 10 thugs on repeat.
Mm-hmm. Pig's getting yet another construction turret. And looks like he's going for 3 advanced solars. With wind this good, you really don't need to go for that. Engagement up at the top. TankTom losing some of his pawns in exchange for a single rocket bot. Trying to get an LLT up, but LLT is not overly effective against rocket bots. But Pigz is leaving them in range, so it is getting some damage down. TankTom definitely in a struggling position up the top, but fighting hard to stay up here.
Will Tom's experience keep Pigz at bay? Pigz definitely has the advantage here. If he's keeping his cursor up the top of the mountain, he should be able to see that he's going to be able to out micro. But got to keep the distance from that commander.
Yep. Though that
one.
being said, getting the damage on the comm definitely a good thing. But I would like to see TankTom trying to use his comm to get an advantage up here. Even just sniping a couple of those rocket bots, using the terrain to your advantage to block the missiles, because the D-gun will travel over the terrain, but the missiles won't. Thugs coming on up, not a bad counter, but they will be outranged and outdamaged by those Rocketeers. Pig's trying to send.
When you're feeding them one in at a time, though, so
yes,
that's a bit unfortunate.
Yes, TankTom is bleeding to keep Pigz at bay.
Pigz appearing to play a little bit defensive, and Tom definitely has more reinforcements coming up than Pigz does.
Yep.
And neither player with a resbot as well. I'm guessing Tom's about to start reclaiming having appeared to have won this fight.
Yes, Tom has managed to, because of Pig's inaction, Tom has managed to get a good enough force up here to fight those rocket bots and a couple of maces. And he's got the LLTs to fall back on. Also the ability to heal his units and reclaim a lot of that metal, which it looks like he is just starting to do now. Pushing his units into Pig's LLTs, losing a couple there, but manages to take out the Centurion, which is a good thing.
That little choke's definitely a superb spot to be attacking into, because all of Pig's units were bunched up, and with those rocket bots firing in, he was getting damage on more than one unit, while his units had a lot more room to play around and spread out.
Yep.
Looking at the ecos quickly, Tom is full on metal, not producing quite as much eco as Pigz, but Pigz is building wind and advanced solar at the same time. It is recommended you only go for one or the other, just so you don't stall.
Yep. And these advanced solars, part of the reason why TankTom was able to... good D-guns out of Pigz, but lots of damage going onto the comm, and those thugs should be able to keep firing on in. This could be a dead comm. This is a dead comm for Pigz. Pushed a little bit too aggressively there.
Shouldn't have stopped with those D-guns. He would have picked off those thugs, and then he might have been able to body block since Tom was e-stalling a bit there.
Let's just have a little quick look at the statistics and the graphs. Damage dealt. Pigz definitely did more damage, had the bigger army for almost the entire match. Metal produced. Tom wins that one with the reclaim up on the top of the hill, but down in the bases you can see Pigz has a bit more of an economy going on, with more wind coming in, more energy coming in with those advanced solars. And then over to the graphs, pretty neck and neck for the energy, the metal used and metal produced, energy in Pig's advantage. Sorry, that's Tom's advantage there.
Yeah. The metal advantage that Tom gained was almost entirely that reclaim. Both were on a similar amount of mexes. The big difference there just being how damage was dealt and where it was dealt to. Pig's unable to push his advantage.
Yeah, Pigz,
early.
you're great at producing units early, but there is no point producing units if they're not getting used. You did repeat what you did last game, which was I was thankful for, because you didn't push too hard. But is there a reason you keep your units back after you win a bout, like after you've taken out Tom's army, rather than chase it? You just pull back and reinforce. Is there a reason for that?
Well, not awake yet.
That's a fair reason.
Just still not with it. But yeah, it was, you know, a little better, but I wasn't expecting him to push that far. That's why I thought I'll put the commander there, and then I realised that, oh, wait a minute, he's getting a bit low here.
Yeah,
I
that's
just
it.
needed probably about a minute or so, and then I would have sort of made that better, you know, secured that top, and then I was ready, sort of thing.
That's the thing with one versus ones. You've only got one commander, so don't lose it. Otherwise, you lose. On that note, thanks everyone for watching. Jump on the AllReasonNoLogic description below if you'd like to drop a replay or show your interest in competing in these one versus ones. You can send us a PM in Discord. Also, please do like and subscribe. Motivates us to get more of these videos out to all of you.
And drop a comment.
Indeed. Thanks for watching, everyone.
Thanks for
Thanks,
joining
guys.
us. Catch you next time.
Bye for now.